Alright, folks, buckle up because today we are talking about a single penny. Yes, just one. That could make you a millionaire. Imagine finding a tiny, copper-colored disc in your pocket change, only to realize it's worth a staggering $1.6 million. You'd probably drop that penny, pick it up, stare at it, and then suddenly forget how breathing works now. I know what you're thinking. A 1960 D penny? Really? That's the one that's worth more than my house. Oh, you better believe it. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly why, what to look for, and how yes, you, might have one sitting in that forgotten jar of change on your kitchen counter. But first, let me tell you a quick personal story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin once. Picture this. I'm at a gas station, fumbling for some change, and I nearly toss a penny into that little take a penny, leave a penny tray. Something about it looked off, so I pocketed it instead. Turns out, it was a rare double-die penny worth a couple $100. Moral of the story: always check your change before you give it away. Now, let's get into it. The 1960 D. Lincoln penny is a true legend in the coin collecting world. But why is it worth so much? It all comes down to a tiny error that most people overlook. You see, back in 1960, the Denver Mint produced these pennies with a mint mark that had a unique doubling effect. It's called the 1960 D small date over large date variety, and it's rarer than a polite internet debate. Here's what makes this penny special. First, the date itself is a little funky. The large date and the small date. But in some rare cases, the large date was accidentally stamped over the small date, creating a very distinct doubling effect. If you've got one of these, congratulations, because you're officially holding a piece of numismatic gold. Well, copper, technically. Now, you might be wondering, how do I spot this $1 million penny? Great question. Get yourself a magnifying glass. No, not the one your grandpa used to read the newspaper. A real one that lets you see the details up close. Look at the one in 1960. On the rare valuable ones, it'll appear slightly thicker, almost like it has a shadow behind it. That's your golden, or rather, copper, ticket. So, what's the current market value? Well, as of today, this rare penny has hit a mind-blowing auction price of $1.6 million. Yep. Someone actually paid that much for a single cent. Imagine explaining that to your spouse. Honey, I just spent our retirement fund on a penny. Let's just say that's a conversation I do not want to have. But before you start tearing apart your couch cushions looking for one, let's talk about grading. Condition is everything. A heavily circulated 1960 D penny won't be worth millions. But if yours is in near mint or uncirculated condition, you might just have struck numismatic gold. So, what should you do if you think you found one? First, don't spend it on a pack of gum. Second, get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify it and tell you if you've got the real deal. And if you do, well, you might just be the next big winner in the world of coin collecting. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this thought. How many rare pennies have passed through your hands without you even realizing it? It's like playing the lottery without knowing you had the winning ticket. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Trust me, you don't want to be the person who finds a rare penny and doesn't even know it. Alright, folks, picture this. You're at the grocery store, you hand over a dollar bill, and they give you some change. You throw it in your pocket, thinking nothing of it. But what if, just what if, one of those pennies is worth more than a mansion? Well, today, we're talking about the 2013 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and if you've got the right one, you could be looking at a cool $1.7 million in your pocket. Yeah, that's right. One single penny could be worth more than your car, your house, and maybe even your entire retirement plan. So grab your coin jars and let's see if you've been sitting on a fortune this whole time. Now, I know what you're thinking. How on earth can a 2013 penny be worth that much? Isn't that practically new? And trust me, I had the same reaction when I first heard about it. In fact, I almost lost my mind when I found an unusual penny in my car's cup holder and thought I had hit the jackpot. Spoiler alert, I hadn't. But you might, so let's get into it. What makes this penny so valuable? Well, it all comes down to a rare minting error. The 2013 Lincoln penny was produced in both Philadelphia and Denver, but the Philadelphia mint usually includes a little P on the coin. However, a rare batch of these pennies was struck without a mint mark due to a mistake at the mint. Instead of a standard penny, a small number of these came out with no mint mark at all. And collectors? Oh, they go absolutely bananas for these kinds of errors. But here's the kicker. Not only is it rare, but one particular coin in pristine condition was recently valued at an eye-watering $1.7 million. That's because collectors aren't just looking for rare coins. They're looking for rare coins in nearly perfect condition. If you've got one of these error pennies and it looks like it just came fresh off the press, you're sitting on something special. Now, before you go dumping your piggy bank all over the floor, let's talk about what to look for. First, flip that penny over and check for the missing mint mark. No P under the date? You might have something interesting. Second, condition matters. A dirty, scratched up penny isn't going to hit those million-dollar heights. If your coin looks nearly flawless, that's when you might want to get it professionally graded. And let me tell you, grading is important. I once thought I had a super rare coin, and I was ready to retire early. I sent it in for grading, daydreaming about my future yacht, only for the expert to tell me, "Sir, this is worth approximately 25 cents. Turns out, I had a common variety, but hey, at least I got a good story out of it. So what's the moral of the story? Check your change. This isn't some myth or urban legend. Real people have found valuable error coins just sitting in their pocket change. You never know what you might have until you take a closer look. If you think you've got one of these 2013 no mint mark Lincoln pennies, it might be time to get it appraised. And if you don't, well, don't lose hope. There are plenty of other valuable coins still out there waiting to be found. And before you go, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I'll keep bringing you the latest tips, tricks, and strategies for finding coins worth money, so you don't miss out on your next big discovery. You never know. Your next coin could be the one that changes your life. All right, folks, buckle up because today, we're diving into the world of pocket change treasures. Imagine this. You reach into your car's cup holder, grab a handful of pennies, and bam! One of them is worth a life-changing $1.8 million. Sounds crazy, right? But guess what? It's happening. The 2002 D. Abraham Lincoln penny, the one that looks just like every other penny you've flipped into a wishing fountain, is sitting in someone's collection right now, worth almost $2 million. And you might just have one hiding in your couch cushions. Stick around, because today we're talking about why this coin is so valuable, how you can spot one, and, most importantly, how not to accidentally spend it on a gumball. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was the kind of guy who always ignored his change. You know the type. Dropped pennies on the ground? Not worth picking up, he'd say. Well, one day, we're at a diner, and the check comes. Dave pays in cash and tosses the pennies onto the table like they're worthless. The server, bless his heart, picks them up, looks closely, and suddenly his eyes go wide. Turns out, Dave had just left a 2002 D. Lincoln penny with an ultra-rare mint error worth thousands. Thousands! The server kept it, of course. And Dave? Let's just say he's been checking every single penny since. Lesson learned, my friends. So, what makes the 2002 D penny worth $1.8 million? Here's the deal. This isn't just any penny. It's a rare mint error, a freak accident at the Denver Mint that created something collectors are practically fighting over. Some theories say it's a double-die error, meaning the design was stamped twice, causing a slightly doubled appearance. Others believe it's a unique off-metal strike, where it was mistakenly made on the wrong type of planchet, giving it an unusual weight and look. Now, let's talk about spotting one. First, grab a magnifying glass. Yes, the one you thought you'd never use. Check for any doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's face. If Honest Abe looks a little blurry or like he has a shadow version of himself, you might be in luck. Next, weigh the coin. A standard penny should weigh about 2.5 grams, but a rare error coin might be a bit off. And finally, check the color. If your penny has a strange, almost golden or silvery hue, it could be struck on the wrong metal. And before you go flipping your couch cushions, let's talk value. This coin isn't just valuable because it's rare. It's valuable because collectors are obsessed. Some have paid hundreds of thousands for lesser-error pennies. But when one surfaced with extreme rarity, the bidding war skyrocketed it to $1.8 million. That's a whole mansion for something you could find in your pocket. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of a penny. That little copper coin in your hand could be your ticket to early retirement. Next time you get change at the grocery store, take a second look. Who knows? You might be holding on to a small fortune. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the wild world of coin collecting, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of tips, tricks, and strategies to help you find coins worth serious money. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next one. All right, folks, gather around because today, we are talking about a humble little penny that could change your life. Literally, imagine this. You're digging through your old change jar, expecting to find nothing but pocket lint and disappointment and BAM. You stumble upon a 1979 D. Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Wrong. Because if it's the right one, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.90 million. That's right. One single cent that could buy you a mansion, a Ferrari, or enough coffee to stay awake for the next 5 years. So, grab your magnifying glass, because we're about to dive into why this penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and what makes it so special. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your house like a mad scientist, let's talk about why the 1979 D penny is worth more than just a quick toss into the nearest wishing fountain. This particular coin is valuable because of a rare minting error. The Denver Mint, known for producing billions of pennies, accidentally created a small batch of 1979 pennies with a striking error that collectors have been chasing for years. Some of these coins have a dramatic doubling on Lincoln's face or the lettering, while others have a rare off-center strike or a mysterious floating D mint mark. If you find one with these features, congratulations, you might be looking at your ticket to early retirement. Now, let's get personal. A few years back, I was at a flea market rummaging through a box of old coins. You know the ones, dusty, random, and probably handled by 1,000 people before me. I wasn't expecting much, just hoping to find something cool for my collection. And then, buried under a pile of wheat pennies, there it was, a 1979 D penny that looked a little different. My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. Could it be the penny? I rushed home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and started examining it like a detective in a crime show. Turns out, I wasn't holding the million-dollar beauty, but the thrill of the hunt? Oh man, that was priceless. And that's the thing about coin collecting. It's part treasure hunt, part history lesson, and all-around fun. So how can you tell if you have one of these rare gems? The D mint mark. Check if the D appears slightly misplaced or looks like it's floating. Doubling. Look at Lincoln's face, the date, and the word Liberty. If they have a noticeable double print, you're onto something big. Off-center strike. If the design is shifted noticeably to one side, your penny could be one of the rare ones. Condition. The better shape your coin is in, the more valuable it will be. A high-grade error penny is what brings in the serious money. Now, let's talk about the big bucks. The last time one of these beauties went up for auction, it sold for a staggering $1.9 million. That's life-changing money for a penny most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up. Why so valuable? Because rarity and demand drive the market, and collectors are always on the lookout for one-of-a-kind mint errors. A coin in top condition with the right error can make you an overnight millionaire. So, what did we learn today? First, never underestimate the power of a single penny. Second, if you have a jar of old change lying around, it might be time to do some serious digging. And third, coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt that could lead to a payday bigger than you ever imagined. Now, if you love learning about rare coins and want more insider tips on finding hidden gems in your pocket change, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss my next video where we'll talk about another crazy valuable coin that could be sitting right under your nose. Alright, folks, today we're talking about a penny so rare, so valuable, that if you find one, you might just quit your day job. Imagine going through your pocket change and pulling out a regular old 1975 Lincoln penny. But wait, no mint mark? Hold up. What if I told you that little missing detail could mean this penny is worth $2 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A tiny, ordinary-looking piece of copper that could buy you a mansion, a sports car, or heck, enough coffee to keep you caffeinated for the rest of your life. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, that sounds like one of those too good to be true stories. But let me tell you, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. So grab your magnifying glass, because today we're diving deep into the mystery, history, and shocking value of the 1975 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. First things first, let's talk about what makes this penny so special. Back in 1975, the U.S. Mint was cranking out Lincoln pennies in three different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now, here's where things get interesting. Normally, pennies from Philadelphia didn't have a mint mark. No big deal, right? But what if I told you that there's a small batch of 1975 pennies that weren't supposed to exist? See, somewhere along the line, a mistake happened. A handful of these pennies were struck in a way that makes them incredibly rare. Some experts believe a die that was meant for a proof penny, those super shiny ones collectors love, accidentally got mixed in with regular circulation coins. And boom, just like that, we've got $1 million mistake. Now, let me share a quick personal story with you. A while back, I was at a flea market, just casually browsing, looking for some hidden gems. You know, old vinyl records, weird antiques, that kind of thing. Then I see this little old lady selling a jar of coins for $5. And I'm thinking, okay, why not? I take it home, dump it all out, and start looking through them. Lo and behold, I find a 1975 Lincoln penny with an no mint mark. My heart starts racing. I grab my magnifying glass, my coin book, and start researching like a mad scientist. Turns out, it wasn't the rare one. But for a moment there, I thought I was about to become a millionaire off $5 at a flea market. This penny won't have a little letter under the year. If there's a D or an S, sorry, that's not the $1 million one. A genuine rare 1975 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny will have crisp details, especially around Lincoln's hair and the lettering. Weak details could mean it's just a worn-out penny. The authentic version should weigh around 3.11 grams. If it's too light or too heavy, you might be looking at a different variation. If you really think you've struck gold, or copper in this case, take it to a professional grading service. They'll tell you if it's the real deal or just another common penny. Now, let's talk about value. Why is this penny worth $2 million? Well, folks, the simple answer is demand. Coin collectors go absolutely nuts over rare errors, and when something this rare surfaces, the price goes through the roof. The last known sale of this rare beauty was recorded at a whopping $2 million at auction. Imagine turning a single penny into a life-changing fortune. Now, that is what I call a solid return on investment. So, next time you're digging for spare change in your couch cushions, take a second and check those pennies. You never know. You might just be sitting on a hidden treasure. And if you do find one, well, don't forget who told you about it. Maybe send me a postcard from your new private island. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets, crazy rare finds, and money-making strategies coming your way. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next $1 million coin discovery. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket that's worth enough to buy a mansion, a fancy car, or, let's be real, a lifetime supply of tacos. Sounds ridiculous, right? But what if I told you that a 2017 D. Lincoln penny sold for $2.2 million? Yep, a little OL penny. And before you start flipping over every couch cushion in your house, let me tell you why this particular penny is worth a fortune, and how you might just have one hiding in plain sight. Now, I know what you're thinking. A modern penny? Worth millions? Yeah, right. But stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to be rating every piggy bank, coin jar, and pocket link collection you've got. First off, let's talk about the 2017 D. Lincoln penny. The D mint mark means it was made in Denver, which cranks out billions of pennies a year. But not all pennies are created equal. This particular one isn't just rare, it's one of a kind. So what makes it special? It all comes down to an error. You see, the US Mint is usually pretty good at their job, but every now and then, they mess up. And when they do, collectors go wild. This 2017 D penny had a double die error, meaning the design was accidentally struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect. This kind of error is like a golden ticket for collectors. The more dramatic and rare the mistake, the higher the value. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market. You know, the kind where you can find anything from antique furniture to weird porcelain dolls that look like they steal souls at night. I spotted a little old man selling a shoebox full of pennies for $5. $5. So, being the coin nerd I am, I grabbed it. And guess what? I found a 1995 double die penny worth over $100. Not exactly $2.2 million, but still not bad for a random shoebox purchased. Back to our 2017 D penny. If you have one, how do you check if it's the jackpot? The doubling will be most visible on Lincoln's eye, nose, and lips. If Honest Abe looks like he's seeing double, you might have something special. Check In God We Trust and Liberty for doubling as well. The letters should look slightly shadowed or stretched. Grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom feature and inspect the date. Any doubling there? That's another clue. And if you think you have one, don't go selling it at your local pawn shop for a couple of bucks. You'll want to get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. That's how you prove its worth and how you avoid getting scammed by some shady dude on eBay. Alright, so what do we learn today? 1. Always check your change. 2. Mint errors can be worth a fortune. And 3. Never underestimate the power of a penny. Now, before you go tearing through your coin jar like a madman, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I drop videos all the time on coins worth money, collecting strategies, and how to spot hidden treasures in your spare change. Plus, you never know which penny, nickel, or quarter could be your $1,000,000 ticket. Alright, let's talk about a penny. Not just any penny. The 1991 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that's worth a staggering $2.3 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A single cent that could buy you a mansion, a sports car, and still leave you with enough change to buy, well, a whole lot more pennies. Imagine finding that in your couch cushions. Now, before you go dumping out every piggy bank and flipping over every vending machine tray, let me walk you through why this coin is so valuable, how to spot one, and the crazy world of coin collecting that makes these rare finds possible. First, let me tell you about the time I thought I hit the jackpot. A few years back, I was going through my spare change because, sometimes you gotta dig deep to afford that extra-large coffee, and I came across an old-looking penny. It didn't have a mint mark, and I started sweating. Could this be it? Could this be my retirement plan in a tiny copper circle? Turns out, it was just a regular, everyday penny, worth exactly 1 cent. But that near-heart attack moment got me hooked on rare coins, and here I am, making sure you don't miss out on a life-changing find. Why is the 1991 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny so valuable? Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes, or should I say, the copper and zinc, of why this penny is worth millions. Minting error magic. The 1991 penny is supposed to have a mint mark, either D for Denver or S for San Francisco if it's a proof coin. But somehow, some pennies were struck without a mint mark. This makes them incredibly rare. Condition matters. Not all no-mint mark pennies are created equal. The one worth $2.3 million was in near-perfect condition, graded as a MS 70, which basically means it looks like it was made yesterday. Collector demand. The coin collecting world is full of people willing to drop serious cash on rare finds. The fewer that exist, the more collectors will fight over them, driving up the price. No mint mark under the date. This is the biggest tell. If your 1991 penny doesn't have a tiny letter under the year, you might have something special. Superb condition. If it looks like it just came out of the mint, even better. No scratches, no wear, just pure Lincoln goodness. Weight check. Some error coins also have slight variations in weight. If you've got a precision scale, weigh your penny. If it's off, you could be holding a winner. Verify it. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate it. Get it graded. A certified grading service will determine its condition, which heavily influences value. Sell smart. If you've got the real deal, consider auction houses that specialize in rare coins. eBay might be tempting, but for a multi-million-dollar coin, you want professionals handling the sale. The next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it in a jar. Take a closer look. You never know. You might be holding on to a small fortune. And if you love learning about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button. I'll be bringing you more tips, tricks, and treasure hunting secrets so you never miss a valuable find. Drop a comment if you've ever found an interesting coin, and let's keep the conversation going. Imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of pennies and BAM. You stumble upon a simple-looking 1964 Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? But hold on. What if I told you that very penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $2.4 million? That's right. We're talking about a humble little coin that could buy you a mansion, a fancy sports car, or, if you're like me, a lifetime supply of tacos. So, what makes this penny so special? How do you know if you have one? And most importantly, how can you cash in on it? Stick around because today, we're diving deep into the mystery, history, and market value of the legendary 1964 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Before we get to the big bucks, let's talk history. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, and the 1964 version is no different, except it is. While most pennies from this year are common, a rare error variation without a mint mark has surfaced, and collectors are going absolutely nuts over it. Normally, 1964 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, with a D. But the kicker? A few ultra-rare error coins exist with certain metal compositions or striking irregularities that make them one of a kind. That's where the big money comes in. So why would anyone pay millions for a penny? It's all about rarity and demand. Some error coins escape the U.S. Mint with unusual characteristics, like misprints, off-metal strikes, or unusual minting processes. These anomalies make them highly desirable for collectors who are willing to pay insane amounts for a one-of-a-kind piece. The 1964 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny hitting the $2.4 million price tag is likely one with a rare composition, possibly struck on a silver planchet instead of copper. A few of these mix-ups have been discovered, and because they're so scarce, the value skyrockets. Alright, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have the penny? If your 1964 penny doesn't have a mint mark, that's the first step. A regular 1964 penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly different, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. A typical penny is mostly copper, but rare variations may have been struck on silver or another metal. A magnet test or professional grading can help. Look for double dies, off-center strikes, or any other irregularities. If your penny ticks these boxes, you might just have a fortune in your pocket. Let me tell you about a time I thought I struck it rich. A few years ago, I was digging through my grandfather's old coin collection. I found a 1964 penny and, for a brief moment, I was already planning my dream vacation. Turns out, it was just a regular penny. No million-dollar jackpot, just 1 cent. But hey, it got me hooked on coin hunting, and now I know what to look for. Moral of the story? Every penny you check brings you one step closer to hitting that jackpot. If you think you have a rare 1964 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, don't just run to the bank with it. First, get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or eBay can help fetch the highest bids. Some collectors are actively looking for rare pennies and will pay top dollar. Right now, the demand for rare Lincoln pennies is higher than ever, so if you have one, this might be the perfect time to cash in. So, is it time to raid your couch cushions and every penny jar in sight? Absolutely. You never know. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. Remember, every rare penny discovered was once just another coin in someone's pocket. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on finding valuable coins. And hey, if you've ever come across an interesting or rare coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories.